In this video help, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the daily appointment. A daily appointment is a row item for a task or appointment that you're going to do that is related to a client's needs. In this particular case, the client needs could be any one of the items listed in your calendar information, either a service or whatever it is that you need. So let's go ahead and originate a new one, and we're going to do that by clicking on this icon to create a new appointment. The new appointment brings up a new screen, and in that new screen what we're going to be doing, the first thing I want to point out is that the title should include something about the particular client that you're working with. It may be the, the name of the person, so that when it shows on the calendar initially, you can tell by looking at it what it is. And then either the task or the appointment process that you're going through would be included in that title. The next thing would be, once you have that included in the screen, you would add the kind of thing that it is. Now these are editable, so you can add or remove any of these. Once you've used it, it's not a good idea to remove these anymore, because it will eliminate that particular item in the list of opportunities to use it. So these can be modified early on when you're setting up the screens for the calendar. So it's a good idea to edit these and then start using them the way you want them set up. And that's covered on how to do that in the calendar help over here. One of the things that I want to point out, as when you come into this screen, it automatically dates for the date that you are assigning the calendar, and that is adjustable by just coming in and clicking date or a date range. Now a date range starts with a start date and a finish date. If this is a one-day evolution, then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be adding a second date in here that is different than the first if it's a evolution where there's more than one day. If it's a one-day thing too, what you would do is you would type in a 8 o'clock a.m. for example, or whatever this particular appointment is set for. So you would put that information in here. If it is on the same day, you can put the closing event time on the calendar in this particular next screen right here. You want to always have some kind of a date on your calendar which indicates when the information that you're putting in will close. Now you can leave this open, say for example, if you have a starting time, but in most appointments you would probably have a closing time that you want to finish by. You can always come back and edit that so that the calendar is updated. But when you're putting appointments end to end, the start and end times become important, because you need to go to another appointment and you need to keep the times organized. The next part of this is that when you click in here, you pick from the group of people that you have in your application that particular client. And it's a good idea to have that client's information in your record, so when you look at it, you know that you've got it. In addition to that client information, in this case for this particular application, you would have the station location included in there. If this is an appointment that is going to be repeating, you have the opportunity to repeat the event, say like it's a weekly event, but in most cases that's not the thing that you're looking for doing, but there is a days, weeks, months, and years if you're going to be doing it on those bases. This custom properties allows you, when you click on here, to go ahead and add a custom property that is for this appointment, or it will cover across all the appointments by adding to the list here. And then there's a comment area here on this side where you can add a comment for that. This is the individual calendars that are currently included in the application. Whenever you assign a calendar, now in this particular case, since I'm the administrator of this application, it comes up that when I logged in, it always puts a checkbox in my calendar. If you logged in as a user, it will automatically put a check in your checkbox. You actually can log in under these calendars, because they do have a password and username with them, and they'll automatically put in the checkbox. But be aware that anytime you put in a new event or task or appointment, what you want to do is click on the appropriate calendars to add that event so that it shows up on those other calendars. You would always start out by putting the calendar together with yourself and then whatever it is as far as the information in here. Now this particular application was set up with a manager admin. The manager admin and the person that is the holder of the application, the principal person, they both have the ability to edit and modify these different kinds of fields as far as the ones I'm showing that are up, you can update. The priority is the next thing. The priority is routine, low, and as you can see, medium and high. That's the priorities. These also show up as an icon on the calendar so that you can see what kind of priority there is there. The next thing we're going to cover is the optional screens that were set up by the developer in the design. And in this particular case, this application has an equipment assignment and an equipment available status. In the assignment, it's the customer client that is the first item that is added. Now this is not added in this screen. It's a part of the customer client screen for the CRM, and you would add the data here. It's only reflected here so that you can see what appointments of equipment that were assigned, and these could be long-term assignments or a short-term assignment based on the way you're using the application. The first thing that is added to the equipment is the equipment name information, and that's in this case an ID and the serial number and its status. This is a drop down that actually can be added from the screen. So for example, if you're adding a new item or a new status to this, you can use it within this screen. This particular custom application also had a need for a warranty. In this case there's no warranty, in this one there was. And if there's a core where something has to be returned and it's part of this appointment responsibility, we're going to have a core and yes and no that is part of the back end of this application. This tab, if you click on it, will indicate whether the application, what items are in the inventory. It will tell you the equipment name, the serial number for the current one that is out, if it's in stock or its other status, and this is a drop down that allows you to change statuses. This is also done in the back of the application on the equipment inventory screen. It has an equipment type, which is a category where we assign this to equipment so that you can quickly identify by a group of different kinds of equipment. Now, once again, you do not edit in this screen, you always edit in the back end of the screen. There's a standard price, and the standard price is the item price that you pay for it when you purchase the item. This is the information. You're not going to be showing this obviously to your client because this is not the retail cost. The rate type is not used or not added here or changed here, but you can change the notes. There's a drop down in this screen, or you can edit the notes and add a note within this screen. The rate type, in this particular case, the rate type is a day, week, month, and so forth. If you're changing rates based on something that's going to be out for a specific period of time, otherwise the rate will not be added. There is a to-do list in this where you can type in information in this area right here, and or if you want to add assignments or action items, you can click this plus, and each one of these lines is where you can add an assignment for something that needs to be done in relationship to the task here and to the individual process of doing something in an appointment. This is supposed to help you to cover like an agenda of items, or if you're at a site, you can take notes as to what occurred during the time that you're at the site. Otherwise, you can take more verbose descriptions and add them here for the overall task or appointment thing that you're doing. So not only do you have a title about the application of what you're going to be doing, but you also have a description of what you're supposed to do with the subtasks that you want to cover in that particular appointment. If you have any questions about the way that this is used, you can always contact me at the support site by using the help pop-up that is included in the support site screen. To get out of this screen, you're going to want to close this using the close button to return to this screen. Now you can see what it did is it actually placed the appointment in this screen. Now if I had typed in a title and whatever, that would have been in there. Now in this case, I can also either show this as a completed task by clicking this box, this checkbox, or I could have clicked the red button next to it, which I just did, and what it did is it removed this particular appointment from the screen. The completed will also show, if you click into completed, it will put a line through the individual task or appointment that was in here showing that it was completed. If you do not put a completed on this or in the last screen that we showed, and it passes the date of completion, then it will put it into the expired appointments, indicating that you did not perform that task or appointment. If you have any questions about how to use this part of the application, you can get back to me for help on the support site. Thank you.